Hello, hey, hi, welcome back to another video. Today I'm trying to see how many bandanas can I crochet in 24 hours. Now I considered doing 24 hours straight, however I would rather not how do I say it lightly? Destroy myself? So instead we're doing 24 hours timed, where I'll have a timer on my phone for 24 hours and we'll see how much I can crochet while that timer is going. So I'll only crochet with that timer. Now, bandanas are something I have a few of, but I would like to have even more of. So we gotta kind of get that ball rolling. So today is currently Saturday, so I'm giving myself today and tomorrow to really finish this. If I need to, I'll work it into Monday. However, Monday's also during the work week, so I won't have nearly as much time as the weekend. I have a bunch of like cotton yarn. This, if you remember from my last video, is all I had left from making one of those like mesh sleeves. So this is gonna be first up on the table. Once that's done, I have another skein that I'll go ahead and pop into to finish it off. We also have teal. And then I also have a bunch of leftover Kobu yarn, which I've made some like granny stitch bandanas with. And I have pink and like this tan color, which funnily enough is very similar in pinks, but very slightly different. Oh my gosh, the like sunbeam is like right in your way. They are very slightly different. They're more similar like in person, but it's almost like you got like the wrong dye lot. These are the Kobu yarns. They're like, I think, a cotton bamboo blend. So once I'm finished with like this, I'll go ahead and move on to this color pink. That way I'm not having like so many pink ones. Just because I would also like to get these out of my stash. They've been in my stash for like years. So I think bandanas are a great way to use them up. I have quite a few granny stitch bandanas, like the triangle ones, where it's like half of a granny square but in a bandana. So I'm probably gonna make a few of those but in solid colors because I've striped these two together to make those, so I might make some solid ones, and then I'll also make like plain solid double crochet bandanas. That's my plan. I think we're gonna start out with plain granny stitch bandanas, just like solid color ones, starting off with this. That way I can get this off of my desk and just finish up that yarn. Definitely won't take the rest of this skein. And then we'll probably move on to one of these. We'll probably make like two of each, I think. That could be good, like 2 pink, 2 tan, 2 green. And then we'll move on and try to do the same thing with like the solid bandanas. And then if we have time and extra yarn, maybe I'll do something else. These aren't really a whole lot, so I don't know if I'll be able to get like 4 full bandanas. Maybe 2. If you have not yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I make a lot of crochet vlogs, crochet challenge videos like this one. So if any of that sounds good to you, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more of my future videos. And without further ado, let's get started. Future me popping in here, just to quickly say, I have custom orders. I have a few listings on my Ko-Fi for different crop tops and bucket hats in case you want one from me. Any crop top, any size, any color, you can pick. They're $20 and then bucket hats are $15. Again, you can pick 1 or 2 colors for the bucket hats, like you've seen on my channel before. If you want, go ahead and click the link right under this video so that you can order your own top and or bucket hat, and I would really appreciate it. At least checking it out. Check to see if it's something you might want. Check to see my colors. I have a lot of colors. So if that interests you at all, make sure you click the link down below. Also, I have said in this intro that I'm gonna be crocheting for 24 hours. However, you've probably also seen from the title that it's 12 hours. I just wanted to quickly pop in and explain that. You'll hear me continually say 24 hours until I get to a point where I realize I can't do 24 hours, and so I shorten it to 12. I'm sorry, I clickbaited you accidentally. I just don't have enough time to be able to actually crochet for 24 hours, at least not right now. I am days away from my craft show, and I just don't have time to be able to put hours into just making bandanas whenever I need to make so many other things and get ready in so many other ways. So it's just not feasible for me to actually crochet for 24 hours now. My schedule just doesn't allow it. So you'll hear me talk for that I'm going to do it for 24 hours for a little bit, and then I'm going to realize that it is unattainable and switch it to 12 hours. Sorry, I accidentally clickbaited you. Just figured I should explain. That's what's happening. Don't mind the blanket. It's the middle of summer, but I always have a blanket because my legs are always freezing. I wasn't sure what size hook I should use. In the past, I think I've used a 4 with the Kobu yarn, but honestly, I think it was a little too small, so I think I'm going to go up to a 5 and try that out. Also, I did the 5 for the like mesh top with the like K&C essential cotton, and I think that turned out fine. So I think we're just gonna go with a 5. If need be, I'll go down to a 4.5. Also, I don't think I need a pattern. I think I can just use what's in my brain and just kind of go for it, except I already messed up. These should go really fast. I'm not going to time myself for this first one, but I think I'll time myself for the second one, see how fast we can get them done, and then maybe we'll see actually how many we'll be able to do. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to start the timer. 24 hours. 24 hours on the clock. There it is. What was I saying before this? Oh yeah, I'm gonna time myself on the second one, just because this first one I'll have to tie on an extra skein, which might take a little bit longer. And also it's my first one, so it might be a little funky, so I figured the second one I'll be able to like work through all those little like kinks, and might be a little bit faster. So we won't time ourselves for now, but the next one we will. That way we'll be able to like get an idea of how many I can make within a 24-hour period. Although I might have to sacrifice my phone timer if I'm gonna time myself, because I can't have a timer and also time myself at the same time, can I? Can you do that? I feel like a grandma sometimes, because like me and phones, I barely know what I'm doing. I barely know how to work this thing. I had like the very first like iPhone SE, like the like 5 or 6 for absolute years. And then I got this 12 mini a few years ago, and I still have no idea what the heck I'm doing. They changed everything within the like 10 years that I didn't have a new phone. And like I can never find anything in the settings. I have no idea what all the new features are. That's okay. I'm okay being out of date.
Gotta remember which one went where. Let's put the color code for this one. Yellow, green, buttery, yellow, and then put this color here. Into a slot to do what it does look really good. Okay. The time is, and I got the straps done. I actually hung straps this morning. I woke up and I go through categories and think of items in the category of every letter of the alphabet. So we like countries from like Albania.
I officially have 2 headbands all done, except for the ends. We'll deal with that later. And I still have 21 hours left on my timer. So that's still quite a long time. Although it feels like it has been not that much time that I've like actually been crocheting. These are both, how do I say this? I was expecting them to be faster, however, the time is also going by very slow, if that makes sense. It's like a weird mix of the two. Anyway, so I've worked with both of these like cottons, and I have like half skeins left. Definitely enough to make another one. However, I want to get started on using up these. I think for these I'm going to do a solid headband, like a solid double crochet headband first. See how much of them I can get used. I think I'm gonna start with the tan, just so it's like a new color that I don't have, just because the 2 pinks are so similar. I'm gonna stick with the 5. For this yarn, I was using a 4 before. I thought that it was like a thinner-ish yarn. It's more of like a thicker 3, light 4. But I think I'm just gonna stick with the 5. This drapes really nicely, and they're roughly the same size. So I think a 5 is gonna be great. It's also just gonna be more simpler on me and my brain. So we're gonna go ahead and start with this, and we're just gonna do a solid double crochet. Although now that I am kind of working with this, it might be a little thin for a 5. It's a little bit thinner than I remember. It also splits really bad, this Kobu yarn, which like is a little bit annoying, but I'm not like one of those people who like absolutely despises yarns that like split really bad. It is also already like 4 o'clock today. Granted I didn't start until like maybe 10, but that's still like 6 hours that have gone by, and I feel like I've only crocheted for like not even 3 hours, so that doesn't feel great. I feel like I have to like get cracking, get my butt in gear in order to be like done by tomorrow. Because okay, if to like split it evenly, let's do like 12 hours and 12 hours between like today and tomorrow. That means I'm gonna have to crochet for another like 9 hours. 9 hours, and it's 4 o'clock. I don't think there are 9 more hours in the day, is there? I think so, but it's gonna be tight, so I don't know. It might have to bleed into Monday. Good morning. Yesterday I was very productive. We actually worked for, how many hours is that? 4, 5, 6.5 hours. I was hoping for a little bit more, but that's okay. 17.5 hours is still a long time, and I have a feeling this video is going to take me more than this weekend. But that's okay. This does allow me a little bit of more time to do all the things that I need to do, so that's good. But in that 6.5 hours, we managed to make not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 bandanas in 6.5 hours. I don't know exactly what that equates to, like per bandana. Definitely more than I was thinking. I think I was hoping for like half an hour each, and that's very much not true since I got 4 done in 6.5 hours. But 4 more bandanas is still 4 more bandanas than I had before. I've also weighed it out, and these ones made with the Kobu yarn have like 30 something grams each in them. And I don't have enough individually. These two together equal like 40 something grams. So I'm thinking if I like stripe these like every other one and then do like the border in the pink, I think that could make a really good bandana. And then that's also a different one. That'd probably be a solid one. And then after that, because I still have these left over too, I'll probably make solids of these as well. And then maybe we'll start to repeat, because after that I'm pretty much just have these. I'll have to check in my closet, see if I have any other like cotton yarn that might like do well as a bandana, but I think these are pretty much all I have. So that's at least like 3 more that we can do. Well, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more, I'm thinking. And that's like a lot. That's like a lot of bandanas. Also, whenever I hold up these two, you can definitely see the color difference between the Kobu versus the essential cotton. So I don't want to like combine the two together. So that's why I think striping both the Kobu together would be good. And I also already have some that is like mostly pink with a few stripes of the tan bandanas. So I think those will kind of like be very cohesive together. Anyway, goal is to basically get through all of these today.
However, it got worse. There were some other ones in the video that were worse than this one. That didn't work. Like virtually my entire feed, like virtually all of it, it was just crochet V-neck sweater, but I wanted to have kind of like a chunky V ribbing, and I want the neckline to be designed in such a way that it can accommodate.
Today's been quite the day so far. We are at 14 hours and 54 minutes. Oh my gosh, almost dropped that. So we went to an estate sale today, and I forgot to pause my timer. No idea how long that went. But it's okay because then I got back and I forgot to restart my timer for at least 50 minutes. So hopefully they've balanced out. Unsure. We're just gonna go with it and continue as if they did. I'm pretty sure they did. But we did finish one solid pink. Here's all I have left. It is like basically the exact same amount before I even started this video. For some reason, 2 of these took exactly 1 skein, which is good for the other ones to know. However, now I'm left with an odd amount again. Then I started doing both of the like leftover Kobu skeins, and I thought I would have just enough to like do every 2 rows changing color. I'm like halfway through the very last row and I ran out of this tan. I was thinking that I should flip it and I should start with pink and then do the tan because I think this is gonna take less, but then like the last 2 rows plus the outline was gonna be the same. So then I was like, well, I don't know if I like that. I feel like that might be like too thick. And I probably should have done that anyways because like I still have a good amount of pink left. What I'm thinking is I'll just, instead of doing like the 14 rows that I have been doing, I'll just do 13 rows. And then we'll just do the border with the pink, which what I was going to do anyways. I just thought it would look better against the like beigey tan on 2 rows instead of right on the pink. I feel like that would have been like too thick. So that's, I think, what I'm gonna do. I don't think 1 row is really gonna end up being like all that bad. Like 1 less row. It's still like, you know, a good size without. So I think it'll be fine. It might look a little funky just because like this last row will be like thinner than the rest of them, but it's the yarn that I have, so it is what it is. Not that big of a deal. Also, I'm totally buying more of this Kobu yarn. I love it. I forgot how much I liked it, and I wanted a top with it. We'll see what kind of colors I have next time I go to the store. That's what I got for this little update. I'm gonna finish this one, and then we'll work on this one, probably a solid, because I only have a granny stitch in this color. So I think a solid. And then we'll probably do some more granny stitch. I don't know if we'll get it all done today. It is currently 3:30. I'm hoping to get like 8 hours of crochet done. We started with 17 and a half, so if I get it down to like 9 and a half, that's a lot. It's doable.
Not do, or the things they can do, but it's harder, so that you don't have to count on the client. First of all, the client has less credibility than anyone else because.
Hi. If you can't tell, it's late. I figured I should give you an update before I go to bed because I was definitely not as productive as I needed to be today. We have 12 and a half hours left on our timer, which means we're about halfway done. That's not very good. I definitely should have done a lot more, but after dinner, we went on a walk and I organized the buttons that I got at the estate sale today instead of crochet. Oops, but they're really cool, and I've always wanted like older buttons from like a secondhand store, and whenever I saw them there, I was like, I cannot pass these up. Update on our pile we've got going on. We started today with a pink granny square, a teal granny square. I think we had 2 solids, 1 in the tan, 1 in the pink. These 2 were the Kobu. Since then, we have finished the rest of the Kobu other than like a tiny like scrap of the pink that was left from the straps. And it came out a little bit smaller. I don't think it's really like too bad. Just like the 1 row, I don't think is gonna make all that much of a difference. Yeah, that's as much of a difference it's made. Not really much, so that's fine. And then I've also finished teal-y color, that bandana. This is all I had left. And then I finished another solid in the pink, this time with the essential cotton. This is all I have left of this one. I assume that's because I started the first one with basically this exact same amount of yarn left over from the, yo, my hair ties. I was missing those. That's, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bandanas so far, which is pretty good. And I don't know if I need any more. I might do 1 more and then like weave in my ends, because I can't do these again. I have plenty of pink now. I might do like, have 2 pink solids, so then what if I do like 2 gray solids, or gray, 2 green solids, 2 green granny square, and 2 pink granny square. So that's like 3 more. I could do 3 more. Do you think I could do 3 more tomorrow? I don't think that's gonna take up a whole 12 hours. Ah! Why is this challenge so much harder than I thought it would be? I can't batch make things. Why do I keep doing this whenever I can't batch make things effectively? Like I can. It hurts my brain. I don't like it. All I can think about right now is knitting myself a top. Like all I want to do is knit myself a top, but I can't because I have to get ready for my market. I just want to knit myself a top. A nice t-shirt. I have the yarn sitting in my closet waiting for me, and I can't do anything with it because I have this thing to get ready for. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I think it's a tomorrow problem. I might sit for a little bit tomorrow because I also have to like actually like go to work, and I'll be like can't work on it all day tomorrow. So maybe I'll get back, I'll weave in my ends, see how long that takes. There is only like 1 per bandana because I crocheted across the other one. And then maybe we'll see how much time left, and then maybe I'll say, that's good. I have plenty of them. I might make another green one because I do have a lot of pinks here. That's a tomorrow problem. I'll figure it out tomorrow, not tonight. I'm going to bed. Hello. It's actually a lot brighter than I thought. I thought the camera wouldn't be able to pick me up. It is currently 6:30. We still have our 12.5 hours from yesterday saved up. We are currently having a very big thunderstorm. It's like the worst of it has just passed, so it's no longer like really big thunders. However, it has made our power go off, so we don't have any power tonight. It also means that like my normal lights aren't on, so then I was afraid that you wouldn't be able to see me very well, but you can see me, so that's good. Today I'm going to be weaving in my ends, hopefully using up the last half hour. I think we're gonna make this a how much can I crochet in 12 hours versus 24 hours. So I'm sorry if I clickbaited you on the title. I thought I was gonna do 24 hours, however, I just don't think that's in the cards for me today. I would love to do a 24-hour challenge at some point where it's like actually 24 hours. Like I stay up for 24 hours. Maybe take a quick nap to like not entirely disrupt my life. But I think that would be a good thing to do. Just like knit for or crochet for 24 hours. I think that would be fun. But I think for now we're gonna stick to 12 hours and we're just gonna take the last 40-ish minutes and weave in my ends. So I'm gonna go out on the couch and do that. Oh my gosh, what a day, what a day. I was outside for literally 10 seconds and I was soaked head to toe. My hair is still like so wet. I had to change because being outside for 10 seconds, I was soaked. Like it was starting to like flood outside. There was like hail coming down and I was of course at the store whenever it started. And I like on the drive home literally thought like it sounded like rocks were falling from the sky and hitting the car. It was crazy. It's definitely calmed down now though, but still no power. And I think it's gonna be like 3 hours till they get it back on, so. In the meantime, I'll just keep working, weave in my ends. Hi. It's been several days. It is now the morning, several days later, and I have some bandanas that I need to show you. In total, we have made 7 bandanas, which is pretty good, actually. Although it was only for 12 hours, and so 7 divided by 12, is that right? Or do I need to do 12 divided by 7? 12 divided by 7. It took me an hour and like 40-ish minutes per bandana, which is more than I thought. Not terrible, but definitely more than I thought. For some reason, my brain was like, oh yeah, you can totally do like 1 bandana in like half an hour. No, I can't. I can do 1 scrunchie in like 15 minutes. I can't do a bandana in 30. Granted, like I probably wasn't like full force, like only focusing on the bandanas, so that might have slowed me down, but also like I don't think my brain could handle thinking that much for that long without some kind of break. I'm still really happy about 7 bandanas. That's still more bandanas that I am able to stock. I also apologize. I've been talking about my market, I feel like, for months. But it is like consumed my life because I want to make sure that I have enough things for people that they might want in different varieties. I promise, after next week, we're done with the market talk if you've been tired of it. And if not, I'm sorry. Next week you're getting a market vlog, so that'll be fun. Yeah, I might do another one, depends on how successful it is. For now, we have a pile of bandanas. You can kind of see it right here. I don't remember exactly the order we started. I think we started with these granny stitch ones, probably in this one because I love this color so much. This is the like rainforest color by KNC Essential Cotton. It's this granny stitch, very nice, very plain. Not a ton on the border just because I felt like there was a lot going on with the texture of this. And yeah, I will say the granny stitch I think could come out maybe a little bit more, but it's not bad. I'm not mad at it. Number 2 is the same thing, but in pink. I know you've probably already seen these before. You're probably like, okay, fine, whatever, great, amazing. Just to recap, because I feel like this video has been a little bit all over the place. So another one in pink, again, KNC Essential Cotton. Very good, very good. I don't remember the next one. It's probably this one, because that's the next one that I have here. This is with the Line brand Kobu, and this is a nice solid. I love these lines that it makes like down the middle with like where, you know, I had to do my increases. I think that looks really amazing. And then this very nice picot border along the edge. Just a little bit of texture just because I felt like the solid was maybe a little bit plain, so I think this just gives it that little extra something maybe it was missing. Then we have quite a few solids actually. I actually got really into making the solid ones, but this one is once again in that rainforest, this kind of teal green color, and the picot border, of course. I was gonna say I am a little bit afraid of the straps on if they're too short. Some of them I felt like they were short, but also sometimes I'm like, wow, this is like a long tail, but is that enough to like tie, you know? But looking at this, oh yeah, that's plenty. That's plenty. Next, one more. Nope, we have 2 more solids. Apparently I didn't do as many granny stitch that I meant to, which is fine. I mean, that's not a problem. It's just my like channel name is Granny Stitches, so then I felt like I needed more granny stitch stuff, which I have a fair amount of, so I think it doesn't matter, it's really fine. Anyway, here's once again another solid. This is the Kobu yarn in this tan color. I don't really remember the color names on these. And then striped. This was made with the leftovers that I had. I didn't have enough to make one, but if I combined them, I had enough. And I still had a good amount of pink actually left over. Not enough to do a whole other headband, but still like a good scrap, good size scrap. Once again, 1 row short on this one, which is very unfortunate, but it doesn't really look that bad. Like, it doesn't look like it's too small. I mean, it's just 1 row, so like it shouldn't. Last one more. Solid pink. This time it's in the Essential Cotton. This is a slightly thicker yarn, so it doesn't like, it's not as like loose as the Kobu. But I mean, like, it's still drapey, it's still soft, it's still nice. So not a huge deal, but just it feels different, you know? The Kobu, you can tell it has like some of that like bamboo in it. It gives it kind of like a sheen, a slipperiness. But the cotton, you can tell it's cotton, you know? Not like kitchen cotton. This does not feel like kitchen cotton. Just more of like a softer cotton. It just feels like a softer cotton. That was all 7 bandanas I crocheted in 12 hours. I would love to do another 24-hour challenge, but like actually 24 hours where like I try to stay up for actually 24 hours. I might take like a nap or something just because like that's the nice thing to do to myself, but like I will actually like crochet for 24 hours. See how much I can get done. I think that would be fun. However, my schedule just doesn't allow for that right now. And I thought maybe I could work around it by just doing like the timer, but I just don't have enough time to do all of the other things that I need to do before my market. I hope this was okay. I hope 12 hours was enough. The like 40 minutes that was left on the timer was the perfect amount to like finish weaving in my ends. I of course got rid of my timer because it's been several days, but like it was 11 hours and like 50 something minutes left on the clock. So like It was totally fine. Also, I left it on because I forgot to turn it off. We're officially done with this challenge. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, make sure you like it, subscribe so you don't miss any more of my future videos. I post a lot of crochet vlogs, some challenge videos just like this one. And so if any of that sounds good to you, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can stick around. And I'm gonna see you next week.